Good day. It is the Boom Bar on Boom Radio NG, the midweek edition. My name is Sola Rogers.
Names of noisemakers. You know the people that are noisemakers when they were in school.
I was bad.
That's where not.
No, come on. I was really bad.
It's a gift that Tokumbo had.
That was how I ended up talking behind the microphone. I would talk.
I want to disagree. You're trying to insinuate
that
you need to be unruly to become a broadcaster.
No, not quite. Not quite.
You were unruly.
No, I wasn't unruly.
Stubborn, unruly.
I wasn't because everything
ill-mannered,
is bourgeois.
Ill-mannered and misbehaved.
It's all right.
Any chance to get to rub it in?
Don't worry. Let him rub it in. You're free. Have you had lunch today, I guess? Yes, you had lunch?
Rice with stir-fried veggies.
So, Dolupo, you see why I excuse him? He's okay.
But that's not what the show is about. Since these people have forgotten to tell you, I will take the opportunity that I have stolen to let you know that we are here at the bar. It is a bar, you know. A few years ago, we used to display drinks on this table and everything until Gawa said we should stop for now. For now. So
my name is Tokumbo Ojekunle.
It is still a bar where we kick back, relax, and talk music, sports, politics, and everything in between. His name is fairly used Ojekunle.
Okay.
And this one's name is Okay.
Which is
like I said before, my name is Ola Tinubu. People that don't know, they know how it's going. Good morning.
They know how it's going and coming actually, because it doesn't only go, it comes to
like Boro.
Because only Atorilaye Tobalu Siwaju Atulu saying.
Translation.
Life is like a koboko. In English, you call it cane. So a cane,
Koboko is not cane, no.
Leave it. It's all cane.
It sounds like sugar cane.
Cane, so yeah, Baba.
Cane is different. So pankere is cane, no.
Atorilaye.
Pankere.
Oh my God.
It's pankere.
Well, it doesn't fit you people.
They say I should explain it. I'm trying to explain. Atorilaye Tobalu Siwaju Alu saying life is like a cane. When you try to whip someone with it, it goes forward. But trust me, it still goes back. To
get a better whipping.
To
get a better whipping.
Okay.
But at times you will whip yourself
in the process
of whipping others. So don't whip anybody because they have the whip appeal.
What?
That's rhythmic.
Thank you.
You went to school?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, wow.
I passed in front of school a couple of times. And they said, hey, you. Come here.
Enter.
Anyway,
that's your seat.
For people that
which is no
this
way.
is not always this noisy. But
okay,
I actually wanted to we're talking about a few things. One of the things that we're going to be talking about a lot, breaking a lot of things down, is the drama that's happening in Alaba Market. There's government versus traders. Is it a building issue? Is it a political issue, Is it a ethnic issue? Those are things that we would talk about. Also, we'll see how much of that we can get done. Quickly, there are a few other things. The sports and maybe talk a bit about President Tinubu's
trip to France.
His trip to France.
It's not just the trip. Everything that concerns that guy.
At the moment,
it's changing by the second.
All the town
Everything
halls
improves by the second.
All the town halls.
Yeah. So about
different. Town hall. Different.
Okay, so moving on from that, let's move on quickly to the stories. And one of the main stories we're going to be talking about is the Alaba Market issue. Now, for people that do not know or they're wondering what we're talking about, so a few weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, there was an announcement that there were 17 buildings out of the whole Alaba International Market that they were distressed and they were going to be brought down. Then there was a lot of hue and cry. There was a lot of, he's fine. There was a lot of what exactly is happening there from a lot of people. Now, we've seen a lot of people talk about different things, different angles to this. And one of the things that people are talking about is if this has a political and an ethnic undertone to it. Mm-hmm. We know for a fact that the people of Alaba or that local government, they're not huge fans of the APC. Well, it's not now, it has been pretty much over time, yeah? And now, people are saying, is this deliberate? Also, there's also issues from the government talking about how
it is the plan to demolish. Is it deliberate? Yeah, on the part of government.
There's also the story of the government saying that these buildings have been distressed and there's been different talks since 2016. And 2016. Yes, since 2016. Mm-hmm. And there's been different notices and all that. So it has nothing to do with ethnicity or politics. Yes.
Yes.
Also that there are other buildings around Lagos. Mm-hmm. That all these buildings are that there are buildings around Lagos that are planned to be demolished in the coming weeks.
As well.
So it is not just them. Now, so okay, no, before I say, maybe you should.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, to make it much more clearer, Alaba, that particular area in context, is meant to be like the hub, the computer hub, electronics hub of Lagos, particularly where these things are sold, where computers are sold and all the gadgets are sold. They're thriving place, very thriving. And the business community there is quite large. It's so strategically placed that around it we have small chalets of communities that have actually grown to become cities on their own over time. Mm-hmm. And the composition of those people, of these traders and those who do business or businesses there is usually, when you look at it, is a dimension of what Lagos should have been and is being represented. In terms of ethnic representation, we have the Igbos there, Yorubas are there, Hausas are also there. So it's almost like a melting pot of cultures and people and trades, you know. So it behoves on a lot of people within that to feel that they are being probably identified or they are being marginalized in a way. If at all government will come and say these buildings have to go, these prisons have to go. And again, a reverb of that is because of the political atmosphere in which we are actually enjoying, well, I won't say enjoying in some areas, but we've been through. The elections were really tight and very, very demarcated in a way. Now, if that's strong, then the community wakes up one day and says, well, a government is coming to bring down these buildings that belongs to them, okay? It is because of the politics in the air, and they feel they are being targeted, okay? They've been a ready target for them. But it is not exactly so, not from this end we are saying it, but evidences and documents available to us have shown that government in the past, well, they have a right, government has a right to identify buildings that are defective in structures and buildings that probably with the wind and storm, anything could happen. And we've had cases like that in recent times. Well, that's written as in last week. We've had them probably past weeks and in 1 month or two ago, where government has, I won't say failed, but had identified areas where these structures have been and are existing, but have not done enough to capture the essence of it, to be very proactive. So these areas experienced buildings coming down, and they want to guard against such things in future. They want to guard against it by calling your attention or drawing your attention to it So the commission or the body or the regulatory commission that has been given or given that tax to go around and identify, would go around and identify the structures that need to come down or improved on. So if they had done that, since in a case like this, we have a case of 2016, as Dolupo highlighted the other time, that they had identified these structures, and these structures have been marked for demolition. If it's now coming out that government now says we have to bring down these buildings, and you're thinking political, you're thinking ethnic intentions on government, not being fair to yourself, there definitely will be something wrong along the line. And somehow it is not a new thing for government to wake up and decide to do that. It's not a new thing for them to also earmark a building for construction. They can bring the whole market down because they have plans for it.
Okay, so if that's the angle.
Yes.
I have a different angle to it.
Good.
And my angle is that if we say it does not have a political undertone to it, these buildings, there are two things. To me, it looks like it either has a political undertone or there's gross incompetence. Now, why do I say so? The government wonderfully or gleefully came out to say that these buildings have been earmarked for demolition since 2016.
Were they
Am I right?
doing it?
Yeah.
You felt aware?
Yeah, because they were trying to, it was a kind of, at least these buildings they should have come down a long time ago. That's what they're trying to say. So that is not a political, at least we didn't have these issues in 2016, right? Now, why he said that it's either gross incompetence or what was stopping them from 2016 to now, that is at least 7 years.
You have a point.
In 7 years, are we saying that nobody deemed it fit? In the last 7 years, we've had 3 administrations, if I am correct. That's from 2016, that's Governor Ambode, then the first term of Governor Sanwo-Olu, then his second term now, yeah? Are we saying that nobody felt that there was time to demolish those buildings then? Mm-hmm. So it means that since 2016, it was just prayer on, I hope that these buildings will not come down. Because if they were marked for demolition then, it means that they were already defective as at 7 years ago.
Absolutely.
So what stopped you from doing it and it had to be now?
Okay.
What kept you from doing it 7 years ago? You can as well wait another 7 years before you demolish it. Okay. So what does that tell me? It tells me that you are either trying to remember, these people that did not vote for me, I can as well, there's cuckoo paperwork that can be used, that I'm going to use to deal with them. Or somebody somewhere is grossly incompetent.
No, I agree on that. I will never say no to that personally.
I get it that we're very reactionary, even if it's to score cheap political points. This is the kind of time that
we have a comment. We have a comment from our brother and our friend Wilfred Mong. Wilfred is somewhere out there in the diaspora, and he says the demolition seems wrongly timed.
I agree with you.
No, it's timing.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. So it's either to me, if the governor even wants to score cheap political points, which it doesn't even look good on him because he has been governor for 4 years already before. Anyway, is somebody needs to be sacked. How come this is just happening now? It makes no sense.
I will not say no to everything you have said, Dolupo. What I'm worried about is beginning to feel that is it a right time for me to think that it's because of politics that it's been done? Yeah, let me drop
Even
this.
if it's not, it looks like it.
Let me drop this. You said 2016 was when they was. Do you know between now 2016 and now, leave Alaba out of it, we've had cases of buildings coming down.
Yeah. It's even very rampant in Lagos.
And later we now got to know that those buildings had been earmarked
Exactly. Or demolition.
So there's several.
Some incompetence somewhere.
There's several opinions about this. I love what Wilfred has talked about. He didn't say that the demolition is wrong. He talked about the timing, and the bar seems to agree with you that there's something wrong with the timing, right? And someone feels the same way, so we even put it as our headline. Obi Ezekwesili.
Okay.
She said the Governor Sanwo-Olu led Lagos State government on Friday started the process of removing what it described as distressed buildings in the Alaba International Market in the Ojo local government area. I have a policy advice for Jide Sanwo-Olu. She
should keep a
uttered
policy
him.
advice though.
No, please.
No.
That would be helpful. That would be helpful for all sides and the public. She said it's going to be helpful for all sides.
Good.
Mr. Governor, please immediately publish details of each destroyed building and the deadline of due process rules that were exhausted by your government before it was removed. It will be wise for the governor to take this counsel on transparency and full disclosure, since it would provide evidence to the public that this is not a vengeful political attack against the predominant Igbo community in Alaba Market. Let me also use this opportunity, to really again advise Lagos State government and its cheerleaders, including President Tinubu. She called Tinubu in this, but I'm going to leave it there since we're focusing on what she has said. And she's not the only one that feels strongly. There's a top follower of the Labour Party who actually alleged in a thread of tweets, and people have viewed it. The guy's name Uche, Anambra's first son or something. He said something about how he has a source that told him that the land that has been the land that will come out from the demolition has already been ceded to a Chinese group or Chinese people.
He's got a proof.
He says he has proof. But we know he always people say all sorts of things. So there is a lot of stuff. But as much as you might not like what Obi Ezekwesili has said, let us look at what she has said dispassionately.
Well, absolutely. I agree with you, Shola.
There are times when you have to explain what you don't need to explain, just so that you can carry everybody along.
True.
There are times when you have to say, okay, you know what? Let me humor you. I will explain to you. I have done it before, but because now you are asking, and for the purpose of reaching more people, let me explain. So I think if I am Governor Sanwo-Olu, I would respond to Obi, or have my media team respond to him and say, "Thank you, ma. Nice observation."
You know,
now these are the things for a notice that was even served before I became governor.
2016.
Then I would now go ahead to say, as a governor, I decided to give them time. Or, I'm coming, before you bury me, let me land.
No, you are in.
As a governor, we looked at the thing and we said, this distress is not immediate, but it could become deadly in a few years' time. So we have allowed them that long rope. In this period, if they really wanted to move, they would have moved. If they really wanted to observe or the law that we told them about and the demolition notice, they would have done something about it. There was a demolition, or it wasn't even a demolition. There was a demolition of a fence of a radio station in Ibadan. A radio station that whenever you are entering Ibadan, you look at it and say, okay, it's in a hard position, right? Yeah? But guess what? The radio station is there. You built a road and let it stay. Then people are saying that because the governor had fallen out with the owner, he decided to bring down a part of the radio. I think it was the fence that they brought down and all of that, Then the same state government, after a lot of hue and cry, went back to rebuild what they brought down and all of that. And I think that was very dumb. I'm sorry. People like the governor a lot, but I think it was dumb because if you are doing it by the law, by the book, stick to it.
Yeah, stick
you
to
get
it.
so that showed a little bit of politics in it. And that's what they are alleging with Alaba, which makes the statement by Wilfred Monk very, very sensible.
Yeah.
The timing is the problem.
I agree.
So
yes.
Why not follow what Obi said? Even if you think she's been too involved in Lagos business, and because I've seen people call her out. Reno Omokri actually, tagged that tweet and told her that why are you so focused on Lagos? What about other parts of Nigeria?
I actually share that
where this is happening.
That there's so many things that are happening right under her nose.
Yeah.
That is only Lagos that she remembers. That it's only when there's an issue with Lagos that's when you remember. There are a lot of things happening in Anambra State. For once, I've never heard her or a few other people talk about the sit-at-home that happens in the southeast. But they always have an opinion.
Yeah,
that's where I have an issue with that. No, they should have an opinion about their own issues first.
No, can I say something, Shola? Take care. Listen.
We have a comment again from Wilfred.
Okay.
Dolupo, can you read it?
It said the Ibadan radio station demolition is not fresh news. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's not fresh news. This is what he did there.
Yeah.
We see what you did there. It's not fresh news.
I understand the freshness. The freshness of the beat. Well done, brother. Well done.
Broadcasters are very creative people.
Now, of this case, you are very correct about why Lagos. But my question is, why shouldn't it be Lagos?
No.
No.
I don't have a problem with it being Lagos.
Well, let him make his point.
Let me just say this, right? There is action in Lagos. Things are moving in Lagos. Things are happening in Lagos. The elections particularly, okay? No, let's just talk about it, right? If not in detail about the elections. We saw things happening, and the way ethnicity was actually played up to the gallery. Beyond the gallery it was, okay? So she can talk about those things. But the fact is that, madam, why are you staying in Lagos? That's the question. That's where my issue is. Why are you staying in Lagos? All the time is Lagos. And let me go back to the Alaba thing and quickly talk about the 2016 thing. Dolupo has raised the very, very pungent question that a governor should also sit back and think. We have been recalcitrant all the while. You woke up one day and started marking buildings for demo. 2016.
7 years.
Yes, 7 years.
It's gross incompetence.
It is a wrong timing, just as Wilfred has said. We agree on that. You should not have done that. And listen now, you are my governor. You are my governor.
Also,
honestly, you are my governor.
Okay, now
I believe that we have to go back to it and explain things. You have to explain things to people. These are look, the structure from to number 25 to number 100. These houses. This is what we found out. These are the tests we carried out.
Some things also solve some issues. Why? And what I feel, I don't know if I don't think it's in the constitution, and I don't think it's against the law, but I also feel that there's some things that needs to be spread out. The emergence, or I won't call it emergence because it's probably been there for years. The Alaba Market, for example, has probably been overpopulated by the Southeasterners for a very long time. We have Sabo especially in the Southwest. There is almost a Sabo market in every state.
The 70s.
In the Southwest,
70s.
Which we know that is really grossly populated by the Hausas and all that. My own issue is that... Just to support your
point, even the same Alaba, there's Alaba Rago.
Yes, yes.
In that same Alaba, there's Alaba Rago that is dominated by people who are like the Kara market here.
It's a melting pot. That place is a melting pot of cultures.
My issue is that so that maybe we stop having conversations about about ethnicity or politics or is there a way to decentralize? Because if I remember correctly, during elections there was a document that came out that for you to be the chairman of Alaba Market and all that, you have to be from a certain part of the Southeast. It's not, it is what it is.
Some states are, according to that document, some states are
not allowed. Even someone that is from Lagos, in a market in Lagos, cannot be the chairman of that market.
Yeah, so
those are things that probably maybe we need to sit down and talk about.
So in all of this, some people, again, because we're reading what people are saying and we're analyzing what we know, are saying that over 100 shops have been earmarked for demolition in Onitsha.
About 150.
Yeah. So the governor and the local governments there have talked about it, but the plan is to build a new road and a ramp and all of that. You get more or less like modernizing the city, and bringing up the functionality and aesthetics of that beautiful Onitsha, one of my favorites that I've been to. And the thing about that is that, so a lot of people are saying, why are you not calling them out too?
Exactly.
Because it's the same market.
Because it's happening around
it's
the
people's
same time.
livelihoods, and this is even more. 17 buildings in Alaba, 150 shops and buildings
in Onitsha.
in Onitsha.
And whether we like it or not,
The one in
is even
Onitsha-
a bigger market than Alaba.
No, the one in Onitsha, so there are banks that are going. I don't want to mention the commercial banks. I've seen the video. Someone actually made a video, drove down the entire length of where that construction is going to happen. So people are saying that we should use this. The thing is, if we're not careful, we're going to destroy our country if we don't use the same energy for everything. Do you get? Like
positive energy.
Like when
positive energy.
Yes, positive.
If I'm correct, Mrs. Ezekwesili comes from, I think, the same Anambra State.
I think so, but
yeah, if she comes from the same Anambra State,
but she's not from Lagos, but she's talking about Lagos. So
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
not even about where you're from.
Why she not even talk? Why not? Is she?
No, she can talk.
I'm not saying she can't talk. The first thing he said, charity begins at home. She should start from the Anambra State that the 150 buildings are being demolished.
Well, that's a very normal cliche.
So there also talks of when
sorry.
markets were going to be demolished in Delta State under Okowa.
Yes, I remember.
And again in Edo, where even the marketers, the market women and men had to cry out to the Oba of Benin. So demolitions will happen either to pave way to development, upgrading, or for safety. In Lagos State's case, they're saying it's for safety reasons. And they have actually failed themselves by not following up in 2016, in 2017, in 2018, in 2019, in 2020, 2021, 2022, and waited until after elections in 2023. Lagos State must collect their L for that. They must agree that the timing is wrong. Because imagine if one of those buildings had actually gone down.
That's where I'm going.
What are people going to say?
Absolutely. And
and the funny thing, that's when someone will bring a document and say, we actually remember there's a notice that was sent.
Well,
and why didn't the state government do something about it? So they are dodging bullets here, and they should realize it, and they shouldn't make this kind of mistakes anymore. Now, on the part of Lagos State, they're also pushing back, and they put out a list. The former senior special advisor to Governor Sanwo-Olu on media, Jubril Gawat, put out a detailed document with pictures and addresses of about 60 plus buildings that have been given their final 90-day notice, which means that in a few days' time, all those buildings are coming down. And I looked in detail, I looked at it closely, and their addresses in eyebrow areas and lowbrow. There's something like lowbrow, right?
No.
Opposite of high is low now.
No, come on.
If it's not high, it's low. If it's not high, it's low. So I looked at it and I said, okay, this is another angle to it. Like, there are a lot of buildings that actually have to go because you need to be proactive.
That's okay.
You need to be proactive. Recently in Abuja, some buildings.
7 years is
There was a building collapse.
No, the 7 years is still there.
There was a building collapse recently in Abuja. Not even Lagos. Yeah, there was one in Abuja. There was one in another state again in the east.
Yes, a few days ago.
So the truth is, let's be honest with ourselves. Some buildings have been built to collapse. The developers don't care. They just want to make a quick buck. And they don't care whose life is at risk. You know how sad it is that some of those developers don't actually rent those things; they sell them, so they can take their profit and run.
Yeah,
do you understand? Like they sell the shops.
They will.
There's also the story of some of the owners of this shop saying that basically they're tenants. and all these notices were
have been
served
filed to the
landlords. The landlords have been collecting rent year upon year.
Who would not inform
never
the...
let them.
Yeah.
They didn't know until a few days before. So yes, but unfortunately, the law is the law.
Someone also pointed out something about
the
the Onitsha demolitions. That some of those houses don't even have documents. Someone pointed it out.
Buildings were just springing up everywhere.
But we know that these things happen all the time.
Now. But let me say this. Let's go back to the brass tacks.
Okay.
Why would a notice be served to you because of your building that is faulty? Let's go back. How are those buildings built or structured? Physical planning or environment planning.
How did they even get to the point where they were fully built?
Approved plans.
Again, that is a failure on government.
It's a government thing. I'm telling you that look, the problem they carry is a big shoulder. It's a lot.
I agree.
You know, the funny thing is, every year government remembers to send you the tenement rate levy.
Oh yeah.
You know, they bring those letters. I made a video. I think it was 2 years ago. I was out for my early morning walk. And somewhere in the estate that I live, a building that is decrepit, like it's virtually unlivable, they put the notice for... I actually made that video. I'll show you guys after the program. So, you remember to even put a levy notice on a building that nobody has lived in like 10 years, that you now won't collect tenement rate. If you're going out to collect your IG house and your tenement rate, are you not supposed to also inspect? Are you not supposed to look at safety too? Or is it only about IGR?
It's just about money. Let us
get to a point.
It really might just be about money.
It's about the money.
So I get where Obi Ezekwesili is coming from, but I also want her to expand that energy and express it across Nigeria.
Exactly.
Don't always be about your own people alone or opposition. Let it be across Nigeria. That whenever another market is being earmarked for demolition, let us hear your voice and let's hear it loudly. Not because your tribesmen are involved, but because, poor Nigerians, hardworking Nigerians are also involved. You see, in all of this, they said when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. Yes. The grass in this case is those innocent traders.
Yeah.
Some of them have actually gone to borrow money to rent those shops and all of that. So in all of this, please let us fight for people who don't. You have a voice and a platform because you have been blessed to have it. So use it for the greater good. So if you call out Lagos, call out Anambra, call out Delta, call out Kano, call out everybody, 36 states and Abuja, so that we're our brothers' keepers.
Yeah, so let's move on from that quickly. And now there's a bit of clarification that is happening. We know that, 2 nights ago, the president first started with the sack or the retirement of service chiefs and the appointment of fresh ones immediately. A few hours after that same night, there was also the dissolution of federal agencies and departments and parastatals,
government-owned companies.
And now there's a bit of clarification. We know that according to the law, there were a few of these states, there were a few of these companies that are not involved. Now there's also an extension to it where there's now NDLEA and NAFDAC boards have also not been dissolved.
It's good that they actually did this. I am actually a very big fan of the NDLEA.
What's happening at the NDLEA? Yeah, I agree.
Former governor of Lagos State. He was then colonel, right?
Yeah, Buba.
Then became a brigadier general. Buba Marwa. Amazing guy. Amazing work he's doing at the NDLEA. So I wasn't worried. I knew they were all affected. I wasn't worried because I felt that, look, no matter what you do, you must reward success. So it looks like for a guy like this, they're definitely going to call him back. Do you understand? That was what I felt, And apparently, maybe they quickly looked at the list and said this too. Then the one for NAFDAC. I know that in recent times, NAFDAC too has really picked up on their activities, and they're doing amazing. This is, thumbs up to NAFDAC. But we still want the NAFDAC of when we had that Amazon in charge. We have not gotten to that level. That lady, God rest her soul. You all know who I'm talking about now. God bless her. So I'm happy that the government has decided to at least clarify and say, these two are exempted. Even if they are affected by that sweeping order, they are exempted.
Exempted now. I think they've done well. Government has done well in doing a kind of recheck on that first pronouncement, because just as Shola said, NDLEA is a they're doing fantastic. Far away from where they started. The fear of NDLEA is really, for me,
it's real now.
It's real.
Yes,
it is real.
There's something.
Even there are slips. If there are slips, there are some slips.
There's something I want to say, but when talking about
there are some slips, but of course you can always feel their presence. That is important for me. So if they're not laid back, you are feeling their presence, and they are very, very proactive. Anywhere you find, don't let me go into areas, dark corners of Lagos. Let me start with Lagos.
You know why?
The dark corners in Lagos are now alive. They're lights. They've been lightened up.
So to speak. That did that one.
So to speak.
I don't understand what you're saying now.
Anyway,
which is nowhere. Anyway,
there's a will.
There's something I actually wanted to say, and talking about, you prompted me to think. I've been thinking, and a lot of people have been thinking this too. I'm going to say it anyway, which is nowhere.
Say it now.
So, you know how you think that, oh man, this thing is fine. You're okay with certain services or certain things. Then a new person or a different person handles that thing in a certain way. Same thing go, and you're like,
okay, I've been missing all this while.
Is this what I've been missing? Like, what exactly has this person been doing?
Okay. Don't let me go to a larger market.
Go if you want.
The larger market is Nigeria.
That is the Nigeria that I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's the larger market.
So when the new NDLEA chairman came in, we felt, the NDLEA was working. We were hearing about them. But I swear, guys, this is not an indictment on you. It's a promotion on the new set of people and the chairman. And they just started, it was like a house on fire. I'm like, wait, you can't sustain it. And it's been months.
Years. And just every Sunday. Just wait for that.
Wait on Sunday. They will show you one.
Somebody that's every Sunday. So they don't miss it.
Okay, so we thought the NDLEA was working.
Yeah, but this time around.
Now they're actually working. And it's the same way with, look, I know this might sound like an endorsement.
No, it's the same way with the nation.
It's the same way with
the same way with the nation.
With Nigeria.
Yes, with Nigeria.
At the moment, there are certain things that you're now seeing and you're like, wait, okay, so this is possible. This is happening. All within the space of a couple of days. Do you understand? So, again, let's open our minds to change. Kudos to the NDLEA boss and his entire team, because they can't do it alone.
Yeah, of course.
And NAFDAC.
Beautiful work. Now, let's go on to a bit of stories from the court. Now, one of the very interesting issues that's coming from the court today, I'm sure a lot of people would have seen that. Okay, before we even get to the court, the EFCC has released former governor of Benue State, former governor Ortom. Yeah, so we don't know if there's going to be an indictment or anything after that, but at least he has been released.
So Governor Ortom was in a meeting with the president and other members of the G5, the acclaimed G5, which is 5 PDP governors that said they were not going to support their presidential candidate, Abubakar Atiku. So they became the G5. And they were actually in a meeting with the president a couple of days ago at the seat of power in Aso Rock. And
people said it, you go to meeting with the president.
Days after, he gets invited and
get picked up.
Yeah, but let's see how this one goes. We will be here to give you guys the update. You know how we do that. Aproko work now. Sure you get.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's our work.
I know.
Soft work.
You always know.
I will know.
You always know.
Yes, now.
Moving on.
Anyway, so moving on from that quickly. So from coming from the courts and seeing a lot of things that's happening in the courts at the moment, one very interesting thing that happened today is the story of, remember the former governor of what's he called? The former governor of Zamfara, former deputy governor of Zamfara State, yeah? The man that was impeached. Now, according to the court today, he has now been reinstated.
Yeah, so what happens now? How does that now play out?
That's my question.
What's the plan?
If I remember correctly, it was deputy governor to Matawale.
Matawale.
Governor Bello Matawale, former governor Bello Matawale. And but their whole tenure has ended. He being a deputy governor was hinged on Bello Matawale being the governor. Abi? Please correct me if I'm wrong. So the minute Bello Matawale is not governor again. See, this is why I think I have a problem with the courts and the kind of judgments that they give. Out, yeah. So are they saying that there's just going to be some compensation, or is the current governor going to bounce his deputy governor for him? Because I'm not getting.
This is the beauty of democracy and the judiciary and the executive.
Is it?
I am not going to...
Exactly, is it?
It is. It's the beauty of it because, it throws up more questions than answers. I'm not even going to bother to try to analyze this one or say I understand this one.
Right.
It's crazy, but, I don't know if the judiciary should not consider current situations. Maybe in giving your judgment that, this guy should not have been impeached in the first place, but now that he has been impeached, the government that he was supposed to work with is gone. For this reason, we will have him reinstated, what's that thing again? But he cannot go back to governance. He will pay all the salaries and... But, you're creating a problem with your judgment, and you're supposed to be solving problems.
Because if I'm correct, there was a deputy governor there when he was impeached. Are they going to tell that deputy governor to pay back all the money that he was?
No, it's the government now. That one don't collect the money.
That's what I'm saying. So isn't that just duplication of funds that there are a lot of things that it's not making sense.
Even the funding is the small part. The part now is that if I'm the guy that got judgment, I'll just go and meet the current Oga. I'm coming tomorrow. Pack your load. You see, I don't get judgment. Pack your load. I am now the deputy governor.
Very soon we're going to see a 90-year-old headmaster who was sacked or asked to leave, right? Maybe 20 years ago, being reinstated this age and year.
Anyway,
I'm happy that Tokumbo said very soon and maybe.
We'll see. We'll definitely see
and he
that.
Said maybe.
Because the courts, they have the final say.
Yeah.
They should just clarify
always
that.
be coming down.
Okay,
so still going back to Mrs. Ezekwesili.
Oh, really?
What
again?
No, not going back to her, but just wanted to give her an advice.
Oh.
Remember, there's a demolition governor in Nigeria. The Kano State governor, which has been happening for more than 2 weeks. How come she never said anything about it, or she hasn't said anything about it?
I said Lagos.
That
is the point.
The guy in Kano,
yes,
he has made up his mind. He's
doing all sorts of things.
He has made up his mind to enter the Guinness World Record as the governor with the most demolitions.
I'm sorry, I really have to laugh because.
Do you understand? Like that's why when it's like that, there's a whole rampage going on in Kano State. I do not see her talking about what's happening in Kano State. But of course, we must always have. Okay, something came to my mind.
You get point there, you get point.
Anyway, moving on from that, I'm still talking about the Kano State governor, because it was the Kano State governor I want to talk about. Now, looks like, is demolition and rearranging and trying to bring back a lot of things that the former governor Ganduje did. And one of the things he's now done is to reinstate the Kano anti-corruption boss that was sacked by the former governor.
Look, politics and governance are side by side. but prioritize governance, so that politics does not hold development back. Governance is what they use to give the dividends of democracy to people. I think that the governor of Kano is on a mission. We just talked about him now. When we first heard this on Demolition Man, it was for a movie, Demolition Man. Demolition, And every time I hear Kano now, what I remember is what I think of is demolition.
It's very funny how you're sure.
Governor
is it
Abba,
really about
really and truly. You can
governance or just
reverse everything you want to reverse. But also remember that even if you do 8 years, you go come out.
My own is that I don't have a problem with reversing everything or doing whatever it's doing. I just hope it's really about governance.
It's not about. What do you mean it's about governance? Are you being funny?
If the former governor sacked this person for a crime or some misconduct, then you bring the same person back. Then there's a problem.
How is it about governance? There's a monument that was built, but at the end of a bridge somewhere. People have gone there to take pictures and they've commended the beauty of that thing. Then you demolished it.
SA said there's a cross.
You demolished it and you actually said
there's a cross.
No, you said that it was a security threat and that you're going to rebuild it. Okay, wait. If it's a security threat, why are you rebuilding it? 2 days after, someone from your government said that there was a cross on it.
That's probably the dumbest thing.
That image is not a cross. Then you are going to bring it down because you say that there's a cross on it. Now, guess what?
That's one of
you
the
now say that you're going to bring. Do you know the sad part? There's a bridge that has this nice X across it. It's so beautiful for aesthetics, They want to bring it down too. It's on their list of things because I said they are going to bring down anything that Ganduje built that had crosses on it. This is the problem. So please don't tell me it's governance. We all know that it's all politics and it's disgusting. It is disgusting. And at the end of the day, you are only wasting taxpayers' money.
That's a complete waste because
you're wasting taxpayers' money.
It's probably more expensive to bring down than to build.
Then you're going to rebuild it.
You will rebuild after that again.
Without a cross. And meanwhile, there's no cross on the thing in the first place.
Whether we like it or not, we need to have a conversation.
Are these stories
true?
Are they real?
Oh, yes.
Very real.
The House of Assembly needs to look
very real, Tokumbo. Very
real. The House
real.
of Assemblies need to look at this. Maybe not the state, maybe federal needs to put laws against this thing. There have to be some laws against these things because it's just ridiculous. Anyway, we'll see how that goes on. Moving on to other states now. In Calabar, Cross River State, the governor, Senator Bassey Otu, has now banned commercial motorcycles in the state capital. Also, going to Abia State, the Abia State governor is set to resuscitate its own cocoa processing industry. I think it's going to be massive.
That would be great.
Abia State Governor Alex Oti has shown, that he really wants to improve his state. He's been at it for a while, tried with another party, and finally got through with the Labour Party. And you wonder how, in the last 8 years, there was a governor there for 8 years old, and he didn't even remember this particular industry. And these are the issues. These are the things that we're talking about.
There was another governor there for another 8 years. Don't let us be going on what's it called.
I'm just talking about the 8 years of
they've had governors.
So you are talking about 16 years. I'm not going that far.
My
memory is not that. My memory is not that sharp.
Governors for years. It's not only two governors.
Let's listen to Dolupo.
It's not only two governors.
I'm not saying that I'm not listening. I'm not saying I don't have.
It's only two governors that Abia State has had.
Tokumbo.
That's what I'm saying. What applies to the former governor is what applies to the other former governors.
She's not applauding anything. We are saying the same thing. I'm just saying that our own memory is sharper than my own.
Absolutely.
My memory is that in the last 8 years, there is a governor.
Okay, that's where you are staying.
I'm staying there. She has power. She can now take it to 50 years. But I know, I've interpreted it, that in 8 years, there was a governor in Abia. Oga, you don't understand.
A leadership.
Well, God bless Alex Oti. Just do it, sir.
Leadership that is based on vindictiveness.
It's not even only that. That is it.
It's horrible.
You know what I think?
Yes.
You know what I think about some of these guys? They don't have the ideas and the wherewithal.
So if I would
what does the Constitution
remind? If I would just juggle people's memories, let's not even go far and let's stop at from May 2020. May 29, 1999. As of May 29, 1999, Orji Uzor Kalu was governor all the way to 2007. From 2007, Theodore Orji was governor from 2007 all the way to 2015. Yep. Then there was Governor Ikpeazu from 2015 all the way to 2023. Mm-hmm. So those are three people. Three people added together 24 years of ridiculousness.
Okay, so again, you also need to be clear that when did the particular cocoa industry go moribund? Do you understand?
We have to start from there too.
That's why I'm staying in the safe zone and saying in the last 8 years, we didn't hear about it.
I've never heard of the little that I know about.
You not hearing doesn't mean that it does not mean that it doesn't exist and it didn't function under Orji or under Theodore. Okay. Orji. No. It's not about okay.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
So,
your
but we know
sense.
that in the last 8 years, the guy who come out there, the only thing that I've really seen is when he was giving kerosene to people.
Anyway, moving on from that, let's quickly move on. We're going to Ondo State now.
For 4 liters.
Please go ahead, Dolupo. Yeah.
Police have now arrested 3 hospital workers that
there's a comment from Wilfred that we need to take.
Yes, he said the 2 orgies and Ikpeazu all failed. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Abia State is one of the worst governed states in Nigeria.
And you know the sad thing, if you go and look at the assets in Abia, like the potential of Abia State, Abia State should, when you're talking about Lagos and Oyo
and Kano
and Rivers and Kano, you should be talking Abia.
And do you know something?
Here we are.
All these guys had so many special advisors. They were appointing people.
Oh God, you used to do you take it too far.
Togoma wants me to be
You want to break the table. You want to break
the table is broken already.
We are still patching
it.
We are still patching it. We are patching it.
Let me speak depressingly.
Don't.
I am depressed. I reject depression.
All the SAs in this world are there.
Let's just move on.
You know, look, dear Governor Oti, if you ever get to see this video, please just concentrate on governance. Let your people feel your presence and your impact, and you will not need to campaign in 4 years' time.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. Let's move on quickly to a Liberal Party stories. Now, the Labour Party in Osun State has suspended his state chairman, alleging that he stole 30 million naira for polling agents' pay.
I don't know how they all get this round figure. Not even an extra naira.
No. Maybe it was the money that was paid to him that he never declared. The honest truth is that we need to understand, and I think this for me shows that when people talk about the Labour Party is different from the norm, or it is AAC that is the new party now. And one thing I always tell people is that terrible people will always be terrible. Thieves will always be thieves. Whether they're in APC or PDP or Labour Party or NNPP or AMPP.
But they're still alleged, though.
That's what I'm saying. So anybody is anywhere. Don't be
the International Association of Worldwide Thieves have a group that says that they will be represented everywhere.
Yeah.
When Jesus Christ picked 12, he picked one thief.
He had a thief.
In fact, maybe there was more than one, but at least we knew about one particular one. Funny thing is, it was the one that they handed the purse to.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, he normally, pilfers.
But that's the story for another day.
Can we go to the next story?
So, in looking at what Dolupo had raised, when someone is alleged to have stolen or has stolen, what is the Labour Party doing? You are dismissing him. Are you taking him to court?
Yeah.
Are you going to prevent him from doing it again? These are the issues. It's
that
not
kind
enough.
Of person might probably go to another party and do another thing. Same thing.
It's not enough to have him suspended.
He
stole people's money.
Oh yes.
Agents, you know the sad part. He might have even been responsible for them losing some votes because the agents there probably didn't even get paid.
They didn't get paid.
And they could be induced by other parties.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. Moving on quickly, the Allied People's Movement has now closed their case against the APC and
really?
President Bola Tinubu, with the Sole Witness. I think next week the PDP and
Thursday.
Thursday, the PDP and the Labour Party are also going to end theirs. I was also reading it that the APC is also going to begin their defense, I think, June 30th. So it looks like the tribunal is moving quickly.
Yes, the APM called only one witness. Only one.
Mm-hmm.
That guy must be the Thanos of witnesses.
Yeah.
Because if you're really serious about using the court to upstage someone, then that guy must be like the bomb.
Thanos.
Like the nuclear.
It just obliterates everybody else.
When the guy just speaks and says, "My lord."
Shola, you don't need to embellish this beyond reasoning.
I should stop.
Yes, this
Just
particular
leave it.
case,
Just
this
leave it,
particular.
yeah.
I should
Leave
shut
that.
up.
No,
Just leave it.
I didn't say shut up. Just
I should shut up.
bank it. We'll come
They
back
say
to
you
it.
should bank it.
In the money, yeah, shut
Bank
up.
it. Bank it.
In the
Quickly.
view of the whole
Oh
world,
God.
I have witnesses globally.
I said bank this matter. 30 million we are still looking for. 30 million naira. We have not found that one.
Everybody call me Bankole. Bank on it. I should bank it. I banked it.
Anyway, before we go quickly, let's just.
Are we
leaving?
We can't
Yes.
go transfer story.
We're
Go
leaving
transfer.
we're leaving in a few minutes, so please let
We
me
have
just
6 more
quickly
stories.
run through 6 months. Okay.
We have stories.
Let me just quickly run through it.
Yeah.
Quickly. Ronaldo has now received the Guinness World Record certificate for his 200th cap for Portugal. He's the most that any player
Caps
has
player.
ever.
That's fantastic.
in Portugal.
Yeah. Also, 5-time champion Venus Williams has now received a wild card for Wimbledon. We've not seen that happen in a while, so we'll be seeing what happens in Wimbledon now.
Very interesting.
Venus is an amazing athlete.
Very
and a
interesting.
couple of years
What?
ago, she got struck with some kind of autoimmune thing that actually makes it difficult for her to play back-to-back
She couldn't
tournaments.
do back to back.
So she plays one and rest and all,
Yeah.
and she's still going hard and going strong.
Yeah,
at her
43-year-old. I
God
think.
bless you, Venus.
I think she's
We're
doing,
rooting for you.
Yeah, she's doing amazing well. Now, talking about the Wimbledon, there's a very interesting story where a particular player is looking like he's going to be banned. Why?
Looks like.
Why?
Okay.
Because he decided to go and watch Champions League finals when there was that same day his doping test was scheduled for.
Well, a lot of people will say that he was trying to avoid the test, so he has no excuses. Rio Ferdinand
He
of
went
Man
to go and
United
watch Champions League.
was moving house the day he was due for a test, and till today, people call him druggy. So, sorry, you're going to get banned because you missed your test. It was a scheduled test. Professor Pomo, tell you want to say you didn't know. I have interpreted it.
Okay, Manchester City has agreed a £30 million deal with Chelsea for Matteo.
There's something happening in Chelsea that we must commend Todd Boehly and his team for. So they have a lot of dead weight. They have a lot of players drawing down their wage bill, and they cost a lot. And guess what? They actually have takers.
Yeah,
Kai Havertz
Havertz is going to Arsenal. I'm wondering, like, why though?
Kai Havertz, 60 million pounds with a £5 million add-on. That's what the deal, is saying.
But why?
He's going to sign in a few hours' time. And Kovacic to Man City. What did they say in him? But meanwhile, don't play with that guy or Guardiola.
Pep has been shown to,
Pep is very peppery.
Turn a lot of things around,
peppery.
Yes. And over time, one has seen that putting players in different teams does not mean a player might not do well in one team.
And 4 players.
Make him useless.
Chelsea is also selling another set of 4 players to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
Koulibaly,
Ngolo Kante is official.
Ngolo Kante. But guess what? I saw someone's tweet and said, let me throw some shade here. And I'm quoting a tweet. They said, why are they selling all the Muslim players to Saudi Arabia? And I'm like, God. When they bought them, why did you say, why are they buying all? Let us be fair.
See, what
let's be fair.
Manchester City is now, where they buy a lot of players and all that.
Nobody's
That's
looking at
what
all that.
Chelsea used to be before. Chelsea
yes.
would pick
True.
up everybody
Chelsea would buy and send like 20 players on loan.
yeah, Chelsea used to be
That thing said be like money laundering,
But anyway,
we'll talk about it later.
on that note, that is all we'll be able to take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very, very much for watching. We will be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition. Thank you very much for the comments. Have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead. Peace.
Ngolo, Kante.